In this tutorial, I'll demonstrate how to install an instance of Windows running some version of Internet Explorer here in the Oracle VirtualBox Manager on a Mac computer. Now, to get the instance of Windows, you can simply go to the Microsoft website at modern.ie, modern.ie. As soon as you type in that URL, then it'll take you to the site at dev.modern.ie. And this is the place that Microsoft allows developers to download the operating system with different versions of the Internet Explorer browser so that developers can test their code. So you simply come to Tools, select that, and then select the option for Virtual Machines. And then here we'll scroll up and make sure that we have the tab for Mac computer selected. And then under Virtual Machine, we'll simply select the version that we want. Here I'm going to select Windows 7 IE 10. And then the platform is VirtualBox. As soon as you select that, then here's the button to download. And you can click that and download it. It is a large file and it'll take a while depending on your bandwidth. There's also a set of instructions. View the instructions. I have that open here. And you can read through these instructions if you feel like you need to. Unfortunately, Microsoft does not provide a checksum file so that we, like a SHA-256 or an MD5 or anything. So there's no way for us to test this file once we download it. But it's going to be installed inside of VirtualBox, and so if anything happens to it, then we can simply delete it and reinstall it, and no harm to our local computer. You could switch to the multi-part download, and if you do that, then you'll have to download each of these files and follow a separate set of instructions, and I don't recommend that. So just select the single download, click to download, and it will begin downloading to your computer. And again, it does take a while for it to download. Now, while that's downloading, let me remind you that I have a YouTube video on how to install VirtualBox on your Mac computer. And I've made a few of these, but this latest one is for Yosemite. And so you can come to YouTube and search under Jim Fikes and find the tutorial here on how to install VirtualBox on your computer. Now, as soon as the instance of Windows has downloaded to your computer, then you'll see here in Finder a .zip file, and it should have the details IE10.win7 or whichever one of the Windows versions you selected to download. All you have to do is double click it to extract it, or you could right click and select open, and then that will use the archive utility to extract that file. And whenever you do that, then this is what you'll see is a folder. And when you open that folder, you'll see it just contains one file. And it's very large. Notice 3.8 gigabytes. It's an OVA file, and that's what's so important, OVA. And if you'll keep this file on your computer, then you can come back in and reinstall this any number of times. But all you have to do to install it is simply double-click it. And when you double-click it, it will automatically open up in VirtualBox Manager with a set of default settings, and the reinitialize MAC address is unchecked. You can just leave all of this as is. You can look at these settings, but you're going to want to change some of them, like the amount of RAM that you have allocated or number of processors. But for now, just to get it installed, we'll simply click on Import, and then it'll take several minutes. It could take up to an hour or so for it to install on your computer. So select Import and let it go to work. As soon as Windows 7 is installed in VirtualBox Manager, then you'll see it selected here. And what I've done is that I've already completed the step that Microsoft encouraged us to take here, where it says when you first install the Virtual Manager, then set a snapshot that you can roll back to later. And the reason is that the instance of Windows will expire after 90 days. So if you need it longer than that, just make snapshots and you can continue working. To make that snapshot, then you simply select the instance of Windows where you want to make a snapshot and select Snapshots. In this case, the original installation was called Current State, and I click on the snapshot icon, and we'll give it a name. You can give it any kind of name that you want, just something that helps you to remember what you're doing. And notice that whichever instance is highlighted is the one that will be running over here in VirtualBox. So if I wanted to go back to this first snapshot, then I would simply come up to the icon here that shows to roll back or to restore back to that original first snapshot that I made. Now, before I run this, I'm going to want to come to Settings, and I want to change some settings here. I want to make sure that it has all of the memory and everything that it needs to run well. On my Mac, I have 8 gigabytes of RAM installed, and so I'm going to give it about 2 gigabytes, which would be 2048 of memory. I'm going to uncheck the floppy disk and drive that selection down so that the computer won't even bother with checking to see if I have a floppy drive. Save a little bit of system resources. On the processor, I'm going to expand this up to 2 processors. For display, I want to make sure that I have all of the available video memory so that the images that I see on the screen will be as sharp as they can be. Under storage, everything is fine at this point, and all of the other settings we can just let them stay as they are. Click OK. And now whenever we take a look at the details for this first snapshot, we'll see that we have the 2048 megabytes of memory, 2 processors, and everything else that's running. And from here, with my settings all the way I want them, I can simply highlight it and click Start, and it will start running Windows inside of the virtual machine.